Hello, are you ready to hit the road and discover some hidden gems along the way? I'm Deborah, one of your guides for this scenic road trip adventure. Today we will be exploring the historic Natchez Trace Parkway. We will start in Kosciusko, Mississippi, and take a look at Hurricane Creek and Coal Creek along the way. If you love road trips and discovering new destinations, be sure to subscribe to our channel and like this video. So fasten your seatbelts and let's get going.
We are at the Kosciusko Visitor Center, Information Center for the Natchez Trace. After spending 2 days out on the road with our initial plan to be on the Natchez Trace, we got sidetracked just because it was supposed to be an impromptu trip. That's what it turned into. We spent a day in Laurel, then we drove to Kosciusko. We're about to get on the trace and start our northbound trip back home. As we go along the trace, we'll stop, tell you where we are, what we're seeing, and hopefully you'll give us a thumbs up, like us, and tell us what you want to see. Come along with us as we drive the trace. Come on. We are at the Hurricane Creek nature hike along the Natchez Trace, not very far from where we got on. And we're going to take this hike primarily because they've got some plants and stuff along the way as we wind upward along the path. It's just a short little walk. But also we've got a act of kindness crochet that we're going to drop. You know, we talk about pack it in and pack it out. Well, we're going to pack this in and leave it hoping somebody finds it. But we've got the act of kindness crochet, and we've also got a little rock in here to kind of hold it in place, a love rock. So we're going to drop this off somewhere, and hopefully somebody coming along will see this and see it as an act of kindness and not somebody that packed something in and didn't pack it out. But as we go along, hopefully we'll see some things, we'll stop and show them to you, and we'll enjoy this hike as we go along. Come on. Well, we didn't get very far up the trail and we ran into some bloodroot that is blooming. We thought we might be a little too early for catching any plants in bloom, but those bloodroots are in bloom. Nice, pretty blooms. Nona's zooming in for us, doing her usual great job of videography. There's quite a few of them in here. As we go up, we'll see what else we see and we'll give you a look at it. Well, we took another 10 steps. And as usual, it takes us a while to do a short hike, but we found these little sweet Betsies just starting to put on a bloom here. And then across the path, we found one where the blossom is actually opening up a little better. So you can kind of get the various stages that they're going in. And again, some of our bloodroot that's blooming along here as well. Now we are at the 164 mile marker on the Natchez Trace. So we are pretty far south. We're down in central Mississippi, making our way back up towards Tennessee. So we may not see as many things opening up and blooming as we get a little closer back to home, but we'll find out as we go along. Come along, one step forward. And we see a old tree here full of mushrooms, which is one of the things we kind of look for. These are really nice looking. They're very feathery looking. Again, mushrooms help decay these plants. We also dropped our comfort crochet right along with these mushrooms here.
We have some ferns that are starting to come up also here. Those are always really pretty when they're fully up.
We're at the end of this short hike. Along the way they had some trees like oak, southern pine, hickory, and beech all kind of pointed out and labeled. The beach is the last one we saw, and as you can see, this is kind of a swampy area, which is what the beach like. The southern pine was a little higher up, and various trees along the way as we went up. Didn't have a lot of elevation change, but we did see that and saw a lot more of the flowers and plants and things. Again, a beautiful time to be out here because the weather is really, really nice. But probably in a week or two, more of these flowers will be blooming. So we're going to head on up the trace. Come along with us as we drive along, find what we see there. Come on.
As we're headed out, we see these really pretty violets also. We really enjoy looking at flowers in nature.
We are at Coal Creek. I think it's mile marker 175 along the Natchez Trace. And this is a bald cypress area that's swampy, and that's what the cypress like. They say on the sign here that it's slowly transitioning to a hardwood forest. Cypress will really soak up a lot of the moisture and swampy areas. They use cypress actually to drain swamps, and that may be what's going on here. It doesn't take us long to walk through there, but as most all of you would know, a forest takes a lot of time for change. You know, things happen over decades and centuries that really causes those to change. So as we walk through, if we see something like that that sparks our interest, we'll stop and show it to you, tell you what we think, and then we'll just continue on around. So come with us and see what we find. As you can see, it is very, very swampy, a lot of water in here. Also some wildflowers up along the trail. These are actually water tupelo. It says on the sign here that they thrive in lowlands and swamps because it can survive with its roots completely submerged underwater. The swollen base is really what helps support it and hold it in place. I guess we could say that about some people too.
Look how the fern is growing out of the bottom of this tree. This looks like an area that we should see an alligator or a crocodile.
Right in front over here on my right is a bald cypress, and there's all these little things sticking up all around it. Originally, they kind of thought this might be a way for the cypress tree to breathe, but they come now to believe that maybe it's just additional support for the cypress. You know, this swampy ground would be soft and mushy in a big wind. A lot of these trees would be really easy to blow over. So some of them have the big base. These have these other things that stick up. They call them knees. The knees are up and to provide additional support to that. And also right here where I stopped, a whole lot of wild violets along. We saw a lot of those the other stop. Those are very pretty purple color. I keep waiting on a snake to come up out of here and bite me. Here's Nona doing her thing, helping me identify these plants.
Bittercress.
And what we just saw down here are bitter crest, known as pointing out. Here you can see where the swamp is starting to get filled in with other hardwoods such as oak, and ash, and many other kinds of hardwood trees versus the cypress that fill in the swamp area. We've got some red maple back over my left shoulder. Red maple are unique in that they can come into a swampy area and thrive in it, but as the swamp dries out, it can also thrive in that as well. So it's more of a transition kind of tree that comes in as swamps start to transition from swampy area to dry, and they can survive either way.